I made a big door. Yes, this giant piston was not enough. So in my last video, when I made a video on this giant piston, I was on a mission to get to those 1,000 subscribers. But now I'm on a mission to get monetized. Gotta get them watch hours. So, we went bigger, we went better, and it's the start of a new year, and every year we did something humongous. Last year, we made a calculator, and now this year, we make a giant piston door, because why not? Got this idea from Soul Banished. That's now the pinned comment of that video, and I'm just like, you know what, that's totally possible with honey blocks. I definitely underestimated the time it would take to make this door, as you can see from the many various tests behind me. There are lots of little bugs and stuff. I went through so many layouts to get this thing working. It was a nightmare. But yeah, let's just look at it open and close again, but in more detail, and you can actually see what's happening. So first, torch key. You didn't really see this in the video. I kind of cut away from it. So boom, torch key. We just have this redstone line that just powers. It's just an observer clock with an observer chain. Nothing too special. But then we have the epic giant pistons, and it kind of looks really weird. I really wish it wasn't laggy, but like that looks so cool. It just like gradually goes oop, ba, oop, and boom. There we go. We have an extended piston, 2 extended pistons. Got our iron blocks, and just like the giant piston over there, we used barrier blocks to stop it. But you can technically just mirror this on the other side and make a giant 2x2. I was just too lazy to do that because there was no world edit for 1.15 yet. But yeah, totally possible to make a 2x2 out of this. Am I going to make a separate video of a 2x2? No, I'm not, because this is my 1,000 sub special, not the 2x2. So yeah, giant pistons, there's hoppers, but to be honest, it doesn't really bother you that much. You can still see clearly the pistons, and it also retracts. We put that there, then the redstone line turns off, and then we just get to see this thing open up. Really, really cool. Like, look at that pattern. It just looks like one of those like barber spinning things, just spiraling towards the top, and then boop, it is done. And for its size and for what it does, it is pretty fast. This thing is pretty fast. And also, you may be thinking, how do you get inside this massive creation? Well, because I'm weird, I added this thing. You flick the lever, and boom, there's a door. with maps, and that pressure plate just opens it from the inside. It's kind of unnecessary though. We go into this infinity map room, and we go up here, and I have this cute little lobby thing that I made for absolutely no reason. So yeah, this is behind the kind of base part that you saw when it was extended, and we just have piston thing powers these two flying machines. Actually, I can just explain the activation. I'll explain the layout later. So here is the torch key. It's, I don't know, I don't really want to explain it that much. Basically, this piston's butted by this redstone that's not activated. So you put a torch there, it retracts. This block retracts over this torch. This piston activates, goes back and forth. It buds it again, and it extends. And it also activates this little T flip-flop and this long delay. And that is so when this thing is done, it'll actually activate. So it's timed like that. And this is just an observer clock. So there's an observer here, an observer there. And it's just a clock that pulses throughout all these observers. It's really laggy, but whatever. I was lazy, and that's the best I could do. Oh, and there's a hole here. And this all has to be terracotta in this area. I mean, this part doesn't have to be terracotta, but I want it to be consistent anyway, so all of these slide back. Actually, most of this doesn't actually have to be terracotta, but whatever. Doesn't matter. But in front of it, there is more terracotta. But yeah, there's more terracotta here, and there's just 2 lines of blocks because we have terracotta here. No matter what I could do, I could not get these blocks to pull, but that's okay. I got a lot of it to go, and there's very little redstone showing on the outside. Okay, but how do the giant pistons work? Well, if you go through all of this, I just cloned the entire piston thing, but replaced the iron block with bunch of glass so you can see through it. So this thing basically consists of 2 main flying machines. Well, actually 4, but they're basically just 2 types. So we have the part that pushes this top bit, and then the parts that push the sides. So this part is kind of just like my giant piston over there, but sideways. So all of this here turns into all of this, and it kind of just like shrinks, and the extensions shrink until it gets over here. And now I could have done 1 flying machine, but the reason I did 2 is so it kind of looked more like 2 pistons, so we could actually hide the flying machine with this little fake piston arm that I made over here. And then over here we kind of have little wall sliders, kind of similar to my giant honey block doors over there. So this would extend by this observer thing, so that's why it kind of looks like a wave, and these need to be solid blocks, so all of these would extend. Then these pistons will extend and push these pistons forward and update these observers, and then the same with these ones. They kind of just snake forwards all the way. And then on the back we just have all of these flying machines, and that just pushes it all the way to these barrier blocks over here. And there are a few things about this that was kind of complicated. So originally I had bubble columns that powered all of these observers at the same time, but that did not work. It got all wet, and it just wasn't really that good. So we kind of have this smaller redstone dust ladder that powers this top part of the hopper thing, and above, and also this bottom part. So all of these hoppers over here activate at the same time, and they're just delayed a bit so the pistons have time to extend. And also a really annoying bug, so if we just go over here, we have buttons here to redirect the redstone. We couldn't put blocks because then it would get pulled by the slime blocks over there in the back. And the reason we have this is so these pistons don't get stuck activated, because there is a glitch, if I can just find it. I did build it over here. Transparent blocks are not really good at redirecting redstone, so as you can see, this is what it should look like over here. So as you can see, this redstone is not going into this piston, and it powers that piston. But if we have a hopper or glass or any transparent block, really, as you can see, that's powered, but it is still powered, and no matter what you do, if you update it, it doesn't work. This redstone is still technically directed this way and directed this way, which is a weird glitch. So the only way to fix that is to redirect it with a button and, you know, update it so it's not going to get powered in the first place. So that's the only way to fix it. So that's why we have buttons there. Originally I had detector rails, but yeah, you can see how that turned out. The detector rails got pulled and everything just got messed up. So yeah, kind of the same thing as the giant pistons, and the extension and the retraction works the same. We have obsidian on the extension, so all these little piston parts are spaced one block apart, but this one's slightly different. We couldn't do that. They all have to be together, so you know what? I'll just activate this so you can see it, and push that. So here we go. We got both of our flying machines here, and we have our little contraption things snaking along all the way to barrier blocks. So that is the extension, and you may be thinking, why does it do that wave pattern on the retraction? And that's because this is what activates the pistons on the retraction. It activates these pistons, so then they can just push. And these are observers, so it won't activate at the same time. It'll just activate one tick after another, so each layer is delayed by one tick, so it makes that weird wave pattern. So you can see how the activation works there. Yeah, just like that. Gets activated in a weird pattern, and it goes all the way back here, and the extensions get blocked by their obsidian, and there we go. That is how the entire piston thing works. So yeah, giant piston door. Am I gonna make more giant piston things? I have no idea. World download for this will be in the description. Well, no, it'll be on my Discord server, so if you want this worlds with my honey doors and the giant piston and the giant piston door, it'll be on my Discord server in the announcements channel or the new videos channel, wherever I put my videos. It'll be right under it. So yeah, you can look at this. You can all look at my failed attempts at making it. Oh yeah, also I tried nether portals to make all the observers activate, but it wasn't tall enough. But nether portals would have been a really cool way to use insta-wire. So yeah, giant piston door. If you want to activate it, you just go to this lever, you go to this smooth stone block, and you put a torch on it, and it extends and retracts, and it's beautiful. And you can also play with the giant piston, the honey doors, my lectern things. Okay, doesn't matter, this video's long now, so yeah, hope you enjoyed. Can we get another 1,000 subscribers? Actually, can I get monetized first? That would be pretty cool. And then I'd have another special for if I monetize. I already have the door built. It's a door. It's gonna be real cool. Yeah, that's it. I've been rambling too long. Goodbye.